How can we have 60,000 people in a darn stadium? You talking about we sold out, and I checked the receipts and we done sold 28,000 tickets. Now y'all better find out who's stealing, because that affects my pocket.
Come on now, dog.
You may not like it, but I ain't lying. So it's a lot of stuff like that, and it's more that goes on that we got to address. And I just have the audacity to address it because it's for the kids.
So somebody at the school was stealing money. Somebody's stealing money. The math ain't math, and the everything is not adding up. Why would I want to stay at a university as an employee who is, number one, underpaid? You knew that when you signed up for it, right? Somebody broke into his office, according to reports. But also, there appears to be some embezzlement going on at Jackson State University. I also have another receipt. Back in 2017, Jackson State had to give $1.17 million back to the federal government because of the misuse of federal funding. What did y'all do with that money, Jackson State? What did y'all do with that money, Jackson State? This is textbook crabs in a motherfucking barrel. Let me tell y'all something. When you inherit something, if you take over a program and you leave it better than you found it, if you leave it better than you found it, then you should be celebrated when you leave. If you leave that football program, if you leave that school better than you found it, you should be celebrated when you leave. Deion Sanders should be celebrated. This is sad. The people that are giving him a hard time is truly sad. It's a travesty, because the man came through. He donated some of his salary. He brought in top recruits. He got you a new football field. He got you new lockers. He got you a TV deal with ESPN, because now you got the stadiums are selling out, right? All these things that Jackson State University now has access to after his departure. But we got people complaining. Do you know that Deion Sanders only made, I want to say, he only made more than $5 million a year in the NFL 2 or 3 times. If you go look at his salary, matter of fact, I'm gonna show you right here. This is the salary. This is the money that he made in the NFL a long time ago. Deion Sanders ain't played football in a long time. Everybody talking about him having money and being this multi-millionaire and whatnot. I don't know his finances, but I do know that when he was in the NFL, he wasn't getting no $5 million a season for the majority of his tenure, right? He wasn't making that type of money. So imagine if you were good at your job. Imagine if you were excellent at your job. Wouldn't you like to promote? If you were good at your job and you increased the revenue for your company and you recruited good players, you elevated the profile of not only your company, your school, but HBCUs in general. Everybody rolls. Don't you deserve a raise? Don't you deserve a promotion? I'm saying, to go from making $300K a year to $5 million is a significant increase. And he also said that he has to pay his coaches, because everybody on that coaching staff was not prime time. And I don't know what his money looks like, but if you donating half of your salary, then you probably doing okay. Because let me tell you something, I ain't donating shit. I don't have any generational wealth. I'm not donating a goddamn thing. Shit, I still got student loans. Come on now. You perform. You do your job. Because if you don't do it, you're going to get fired. Deion Sanders was an employee. He was an employee. He was not the athletic director who was an employee. He was not the chancellor or the school president, right? He was hired by them and he could have been fired by them, but he did his thing. He was a good coach for that team. They just went undefeated. Got a bowl game coming up, right? So you telling me that somebody who performs, somebody who goes above and beyond should not take advantage of a bigger and better opportunity? Because if we talk about the lack of coaches, of black coaches in the NFL, how does a black coach make it to the NFL? You have to start from the bottom. And for Deion, if he wants to coach in the league, I could imagine him being a defensive back coach in the NFL today. I could imagine somebody bringing him on their staff today as a defensive back coach, right? We're talking about a Hall of Fame player. We're talking about a Super Bowl champion. We're talking about a two-sport athlete. Somebody that played 3 sports in college: track, baseball, and football. 3 sports in college. Come on now. Put some respect on that man's name. So if he wants to be an NFL head coach, I don't know if that's his goal. But if he wants to be that, he's got to show and prove. He has to be able to, he got to show and prove at Colorado. Because if he doesn't, guess what they're going to do? They're going to fire his ass. Or he might resign. Colorado, I think they only won 1 or 2 games this past season. Come on now. Crabs in a barrel. Let that man be great. Let that man be great. I done showed you that somebody at Jackson State is stealing money. They've been stealing money or repurposing or embezzling money since 2017, probably before that. The facilities are messed up even though he upgraded them. The water, come on now. The water, is the drinking water, is it safe to drink that water? Is it safe to drink that water now? I ain't kept up with it. Come on now. What are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing? People, what are we doing here? If you, and this, I'm gonna end it like this. I'm going to end it like this. Wait a minute. I know what y'all gonna say. Y'all gonna say that those students came to the school for him and he left those students hanging. Travis Hunter is probably going to follow Deion Sanders. His sons, they're gonna follow him to that school. And if I am a defensive back and I wanna make it to the NFL, why wouldn't I wanna be under the tutelage of a Hall of Fame defensive back, NFL champion? To say that you were coached by Deion, it holds a certain amount of weight. To be in the company of a champion, somebody who was somewhat of an NFL journeyman, but he was a lockdown corner, right? To say that you learned from him, I'm willing to bet that the life lessons alone, the motivational talks alone, those are going to impact those student athletes far into adulthood. I'm telling you, Deion Sanders be talking that talk, you know, and I'm very good with exposing scammers and fraudulent people, but I don't have nothing on Deion to say that he's a fraud, you know. So those kids came to the school and they might stay and they may leave. Some students came to that school because they didn't have the grades to go anywhere else, excuse me. Come on now. Shannon Sharp said it. The truth hurts. He said if he would have had the grades, he wouldn't have gone to an HBCU. He said it. You can't require more of Deion than you require of HBCU alumni. Unfortunately, a lot of, the majority of, and I'm not going to say the majority, I don't have the data. But when we think of black multimillionaires who have the ability to give back, we're talking about entertainers. We're not talking about college graduates. We are talking about entertainers, singing and dancing and running and jumping, right? They're not giving back to these HBCUs. We're not, the graduates, they ain't giving back. But you want Deion Sanders to put his livelihood on the line that he signed up for. He signed up for it, but he outperformed and he left it in a better condition. And now he's on to Colorado. And if he doesn't perform there, they're gonna fire his ass. In fact, there's a lot of people hoping that he will fail. There's a lot of people hoping that Deion will fail. Check this out. I ain't checked for Colorado since they had Rashad Salam. Rest in peace to him. Rashad Salam, Heisman Trophy winning running back. I ain't checked for Colorado since then. I think Cordell Stewart might have went to Colorado. I don't know. But I'm rooting for Deion Sanders. I'm rooting for those student athletes. You know, I'm rooting for Jackson State. Y'all need to get it together. He left you guys in better condition, that football program. So Deion Sanders owes Jackson State nothing. He owes them nothing. He came, he saw, he conquered. This crabs in a barrel mentality has got to go. It is PBM, vegetables and junk food, the poor black man. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to hear more, hit the subscribe button. And if you didn't like this video, let me know why you didn't like it. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.